All right, so tonight we're gonna clean out north of the border. Another good factor calf, and the last one of the year. Officially done calving 2026. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Monday afternoon, and getting rolling here. Just kind of doing a little bit of a peruse of the situation. Might be doing some yard clean out type stuff, or at least trying to get some stuff cleaned out this week. And then also poking around the 42. We got to get manure spreader ready. So a lot of equipment prep type stuff. And then also trying to do a little cleaning. And our initial focus is going to be north of the border and the calves. Whether that's stacking it up, putting it on the pile, spreading it. Spreading it's going to still be difficult with all the moisture we've had. So that's kind of what we're dealing with this week. All right, so while Dad's putting out this bale, again, looking over the crew, making sure nobody's coming into heat, which I don't really see. There's one in particular, that eagle daughter. I'm surprised she hasn't come into heat, or at least I don't see signs that she came into heat. And she's right here, and she's in good shape. I really like her. She's still a really nice animal. There are a couple that have, like this one, she's got it kind of rubbed off here and there. Oh yeah, she's rubbed off on top. All right, I'll mark that down. I don't know when the heck that was, but we'll mark it down. That's a True Justice daughter. That's GL313. True Justice out of an upgrade. Put that in the magical notes. But that is also kind of one of the focuses now, as I'm starting to think about getting these guys bred. What I did do yesterday that I didn't really show in my last video, because I mean, it's not really a huge deal, but starting to take care of that board, my white board in the milk house. And this weekend, mostly yesterday, I updated basically our semen tank inventory, which is kind of the main part, and I'll show you that, because I wanted to kind of make sure like we're gonna have plenty of stuff, because I really wasn't looking at buying anything new or ordering any new bulls this year. Because when I look at like breeding heifers, I still have plenty of bull ruler. I would still use a couple of him. I've got 2 or 3 straws of Eagle, so that I would use. Gibbs Essential, I've got 5 left of him. And then I also have, what is it, 3 shots of Mic Drop yet too, who on a little bit more developed, I better shut this off. Mic Drop on a little bit more developed heifer would be just fine. And then if you look from a cow perspective, like who would I put on cows? I'd use 1 or 2 of those Gibbs Essentials on cows. I'd use a Bold Ruler on cows. But I do have a couple straws of High Life. And then I also have a couple straws of a 3/4 blood from Gen X called Mainline, that I haven't gotten a calf out of, but I definitely did like his numbers, his pedigree, and stuff like that. And so putting him on the right cow, the right situation, I think would be good. And then of course we do have True Justice. We have quite a few True Justi. So I definitely have probably enough to go around, because honestly I would use up all of our Bold Ruler. I'd use up a bunch of and I have the Gold Strike, and Gold Strike isn't necessarily a heifer bull. He's like a moderate to low birth weight. His numbers don't indicate heifer. He's got good calving ease. He's around 0.1 on birth weight. He probably could go on heifers based on his pedigree. Probably just hasn't been used enough. Not really sure, but for whatever reason, they keep playing with those calving ease birth weight scales all the time. And for whatever reason, every time they touch it, it seems like the full bloods get the raw end of the deal for some reason. So I think we got plenty of stuff, and we'll look at that board again later. All right, so tonight we're gonna clean out north of the border. Dad really didn't tell me we were gonna do that, but I'm totally fine with it. We are gonna just dump it on the pile, which is honestly is fine. It needs to get cleaned. And plus we need to get an approach set up so that we can clean the calf area. So it all needs to get done. Air compressor. So we're making some pretty quick progress in here. It's actually going really well. And it looks like we did not lose as much road base up by the concrete as we have the last couple years, which is nice. Mostly what I've been doing is cleaning up in the milk house because in between the wall and our calf warmer is kind of where I've been stacking all of our distiller grain bags. So the pile was literally to the ceiling. So I was like, all right, it is time. But this is what I had mentioned earlier. So this is essentially our semen tank inventory. I will put check marks for how many straws we use, 1, 2, 3, all that kind of stuff. And then this is what we should have. Is it possible we don't? But honestly, let's say I call for an eagle and all of a sudden we find out we don't have any eagle. That's fine. I've got other options. It's taken a few years to kind of build up some odds and ends, but it's kind of nice to have a couple of backups. I think I got one more scoop and Dad's gonna have that full. And we flipped through the first half of the book to get through all the Angus that we're not going to look at. So this is the Select Sires catalog. The majority of this board, well, other than the full bloods, we are basically a Gen X herd. And I do like Gen X. I like a lot of the products they have. They're an hour away. We've literally gone to Gen X in Shawano and picked up semen there before. So I especially like when we get stuff through them. I really like their overall selection. They are starting to get a couple full bloods. Not that I would use any of them yet, because I want to stick with polled genetics, and I either need more homo-polled heifers or cows, or Gen X needs some polled Fleck bulls. So Gen X, polled Fleck bulls. They're out there. There's good ones, excellent ones, in fact. But I will always still look at other places like Select Sires. I've got some Semex bulls in here, Semex, however you want to say it. But this was the catalog. Here we've got Moneymaker. Still like this guy. Definitely going to use him again. I mean, he's an absolute stat monster. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 30, 4, 1. I mean, there's a lot of ones here as far as percent ranked. This is their EPDs ranked in the Simmental Association. So he's a Hooks Eagle out of a beacon. What I like about Moneymaker, he's like a more maternal version of Eagle. You know, as far as like, he's got the performance that Eagle had, but he's got the maternal. He got that from the Hooks Beacon, which Hooks Beacon is a shear force, Hooks shear force, and shear force is awesome. I love shear force. I got to order some cedars, and I got to order drugs, because I think next week we already need them, right? Or not. I got confused. I am like a week off or something like that, but I got to get that stuff on order. And then there's still a potential that I am going to order another Fleck bull just to have them in the tank, because I want to try something, or I want to try another bull. And I know Barb, I want to put Kingpin back on Barb, and all that good stuff. Nora still might end up with Kingpin because I know he's a proven heifer bull. But all good stuff coming. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, it is Tuesday afternoon. I think I'm gonna lock up these cows again, because we might do a little bit more hauling out of here yet. We're not quite sure, but they're almost all in there anyways. But definitely scoping out cows again, as per the usual. Kind of hoping that there are a couple of these that will come into heat in the next week or so. Today ordered cedars, because checked our stock yesterday and we don't have any. Normally we at least have a few, but I had to order 20 of those. Remember when those used to be like $10 a piece? And that was only like 3 or 4 years ago. Now they're like $17. I order them in counts of 10, only because then they just send you a full bag. They don't have to open a bag and sort them out. Those I ordered from Valley Vet. This year we're going to try out those, what are they, Estro Tech patches. I want to try those things out because I've been known to be a little liberal with the tail paint. So I want to try out the Estro Tech patches. So I got 2 different colors. One is the pink that we'll put on any of the black heifers, and then I got some of the green ones, the fluorescent green ones. I want to use those on any of our full bloods, just to give something that'll stand out a little bit better. But the nice thing about Cattle Vision is I could order them in individuals. I only ordered like 20 pink patches and then like 5 of the green ones or something like that. So that was really nice. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Thursday afternoon. Happy Friday Eve. Yes, it is a little breezy. But one thing that did show up today are my Estro Tech heat detection patches. So we're gonna try these out this year. A lot of people like them, a lot of people use them. So we will jump on the bandwagon and we'll give them a roll. So I got 5 of the green ones. These are gonna go on flex or red cows. And then I got the fluorescent pinks for the black cows. Just wanted that different color for the red cows, just because the red and pink or red and orange, it's just, let it stand out a little bit nicer. Especially if we're looking on a camera or something, you know, definitely want that to be able to just pop a little bit. So the really nice thing was I got these from Cattle Vision, and you can buy them like 1, 2. I mean, they're like $2 a piece, but you can just say how many you need, and that's why I got them from there. I did not get my cedars. The cedars are a little cheaper at Valley Vet. That was one nice thing about Cattle Vision. They offered up onesie twosies. I think if you ordered cedars through them, you can also offer. They do 10 cedar bags. That's what cedars come in. But I think if you needed 1, 2, or 3, you can tell them how many cedars you need, and they will tailor that as well. So that was really neat. I like looking. I haven't gotten any semen from Cattle Vision yet. There are tons of good Simmental bulls on there. All right, so since Cher has this very relaxed, laid-back attitude all the time, she really hasn't laid down and really done anything. So I just pushed her back into pen 3. So she's back there, lets the cows come in, they can eat hay now. And hopefully that relaxes her a little bit too. But of course we did change plans because of Cher. Just figured since she's calving, for any reason there's any issues, why not be a little bit closer? So we hooked up the H&S 310 manure spreader, and we're taking it down to the shop, and we're gonna start getting that guy greased up, cleaned up, and ready to rock and roll. All right, so when we talk about breaking shear pins on the manure spreader, it's actually this guy right here, which is really nice. It's convenient, it's easy to get to. So PTO, this is kind of your gearing, your high-low, and then just your plain cycle, chain driven, but then here's your shear pin. So this here, we should have a lot less shear pins breaking because either it's stalks or it's really good straw. So not as many big, massive clumps like the hay. So it should break up easier. So PTO front end is done. There's 4 zerks total, 2 in the shaft, and 2, actually, no, there's 5 because there's 3 in the PTO shaft. So we'll just work our way around. We got a gearbox to check in, 2 gearboxes to check in the back. So the other thing that we have to do periodically is, we had replaced these beater tips. This piece. When did we do that? Last year or the year before? But apparently these were not hardened because when you hit rocks, you get this. So that's where the torch comes in. We're gonna heat this up and bend it back. Well, Cher just had her calf, so that's pretty cool. But looks like it's actually upside down, so we're gonna go flip him over. Hopefully it's a him. We're gonna find out. All right, he got flipped back over. Maybe it's a he. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, he's literally less than 10 minutes old. But I got to get him some bedding. Not a bad size. Well, Cher actually came through for us. Bull calf. So we're going to end with a bull calf. Pretty spunky. Like I said, he was upside down. And then Dad had to go in the house anyways. So we're like, yeah, well, I better go flip him over. But then as soon as I walked in the barn, he flipped over. So I think he'll be up pretty soon. He is a stocky sucker. I love the head on this guy. This is nice. Another good factor calf. And the last one of the year. Officially done calving 2026. That's pretty sweet. Dad and I were just talking about, before we went down to the shop, we used to get really excited when all of our calves would calve in May. Like we'd be done by May. And that's when we were starting, like, about 2 weeks later, so the end of February, even early March. But we were really excited when we were getting all of our calves before the end of May. But last year and this year, 2 years in a row, were done before May even started. Sometimes you got to be a little bit smarter than the cow and help her along and encourage her in some of their duties. So Cher is pretty, she's such a chill, laid back cow that I threw a bunch of hay in for bedding. Well, she started eating the hay. She's got work to do. So we sprinkled a little bit of grain on his back because 99% of the cows that we have will go nuts for the grain. They will follow it. They will come for it. They will go into different pens for it. Whatever. The other really cool thing is they want it. You sprinkle a little bit on the calf. They're going after the grain, but they're doing their job and cleaning off that calf as well. And who knows? I mean, she also could have been like, you know, like I just got a mental block. But she is such a laid back cow that sometimes, like, she doesn't always want to move for the tractor or things like that. So not the quickest response with that one. So giving her a little bit of an aid, a little bit of a, hey, remember, you're supposed to be doing this, you know, that kind of thing. She's a good mom. She raises good calves. You know, we've had some of our best cows. Every once in a while, they'll just be like, I'm just going to chill out for a little bit, and then I want to go to work. And it's like, no, it's time to go to work. All right, divvy up a little bit of hay. Got to grab a picture for the gram, and then get in the house, because tonight the NFL draft starts. Even though the stupid Packers don't have a pick for the first round, that's okay. It's part of the Micah Parsons trade. If I was a GM of a team, I'd be like, I want to have a pick in every single round. I don't care about having 5 or 6 picks in the 4th round or the 5th round. Like, I want a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. If I end up having like 2 3s and a late 2, I'm okay with that. But I want a pick in every round because it gives you that ammo. At least starting the draft out with a pick in every round. Now, if you move out of a round, like you drop back or you move forward, but you started the draft with a pick in every round, that's different. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right. Happy Friday. Well, we got more rain last night. I don't know how much rain we got. Didn't look, didn't ask. So, does mean we have to throw out some more bedding. We got to put some bedding north of the border, though, because it is definitely a little sloppy. All right, so we did get our cedars. So they are in there, 2 bags. So there should be 20 of them in there. All right, we're gonna go and we're gonna check on our last calf of the year, the new guy from yesterday, who I know has been up and about. Not really sure if he has sucked. He is gonna, I'm pretty sure he did. He's been up and moving around quite a bit. But here he is. Hey, buddy. You look pulled. You definitely got a pulled head. And Mom looks pretty clean. But yeah, we're going to get you some fresh bedding. Yeah, he's been moving around and stuff. I mean, I saw him earlier. He was up and about. So he looks to be doing really well. But let's grab this guy and stick him back where he belongs because Mom's yelling at him. All right, pulled. So when we bring some bedding in here tonight, probably going to put these 2 in the back pen. But would like to get him tagged and weighed. Well, as I'm waiting for Dad, we got these 3 bull calves. Well, that's Jeff, who's been limping the last couple of days. He was just goofing around with this one. So his hock must be feeling a little better. A little favoring a little bit, looks like, but hopefully he grows out of that like I've mentioned before. Because if he doesn't, come fall, or if this becomes like, if this is like a chronic thing, then he'll get he'll get taken care of in the fall. But if I don't see any issues like that all summer long, and he grows out of it, and you don't notice any kind of issues, then maybe we'll still keep him. So, all right, this guy right here, Dad asked me yesterday. He goes, "That a bull?" I said, "Not anymore." And he said, "Oh, it's because you never keep the good ones." That's actually so that's a 53. So if you remember from last summer and in the fall and stuff, when I would point them out, Sox, that's Sox's full brother. So 53 always raises a nice calf. All right, there he is. He is weighed and tagged and banded. 105. He's husky. He's one of those where, like, you get closer to him, and it's not that he gets bigger, he gets taller. So he's definitely got Mom's frame. So a little bit big, but that's all right. He's gonna make a great steer. So good way to end the year, and definitely is sucking. And then fresh bedding in here. Everybody's pretty pumped about that. And then we got some out here north of the border too. All right, so we are going to wrap this up because I got to get to Tractor Supply. I told Bethany, I don't care where it is. If it's at home, if it's at Days where we go for our fish fries because we really like it there, or where it is, but I want to be in front of television by about 6:30 tonight. I don't care if I miss a couple of the first picks of the third round. Second round starts at 6 o'clock tonight for the draft. But I want to be there by like 6:30 because I know the Packers will pick late in the second round. And whether it's good or bad, I still like to watch it. So, yep. And then we'll stock up on some mineral. And yeah, get ready for the weekend. All right, so it is Friday. It is the end of the week. So it's the end of another video. Hey, on your way out, smash that like button, show you support the channel. And if you got any questions, by all means, please leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. A lot of you might not be subscribed. It's an easy, free way to show us your support for Ohrmundt Simmentals. And as always, thanks for coming along.